Hello, and thank you for joining me for just a few minutes to learn about some suggestions and tips for creating content for your classroom. Probably partially because of the pandemic, students are used to seeing things on screens. That's how they're used to getting information. And so it seems like a lot of teachers are now creating their own videos. But even though this is a great way to get information to students, there's some important theories and principles that need to be considered. So the one that I want to talk about today is called essential overload. So essential overload is basically saying that as people, any people, we have a limited amount of working memory. So most folks can only hold 2 to 4 chunks of information at any one time in working memory. And so if we're trying to, for instance, lecture a class for 1 hour, that might result in essential overload. So here's just a few tips, actually 3 specific principles that will help to avoid that essential overload and will result in the maximum learning for your students. So these 3 principles that I'm going to chat with you about right now are segmenting, pre-training, and the modality principles. So the segmenting principle refers to the idea of, rather than me lecturing for an hour on a concept, instead, if I break it into chunks and maybe create short videos of 2 minutes to 5 minutes each, that is going to decrease the amount of information that students have to take in at any one time. And so then they will not have the essential overload. The second principle is pre-training. So the idea here might be, if I was teaching an Algebra 1 or pre-algebra class on the concept of slope, perhaps instead of lecturing or modeling for the entire period and expecting that my students would understand it, I could provide a pre-training opportunity with a quick 5-minute video where I can show or model some underlying building blocks to the idea of slope that the students could watch the night before, so that then that way they have some prior knowledge that we can then activate as I'm sharing the new information with them. And then the third principle that I wanted to share with you is called the modality principle. And the idea here is basically what I've been modeling in this video. So rather than me typing up everything that I've been saying to you and saying, go ahead and read it, instead, I'm sharing it with you and you're able to listen. And all I'm showing you is just a few words and images to help enhance that understanding. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. But thank you so much.